I wonder what they're going to do here for the side of IG against this Bristleback. You definitely want break available to you to make sure that this Bristle doesn't become too much of a problem. With the decay as well, and Bristle getting these quill sprays out, it definitely can become trouble for IG pretty quickly in a fight where they're just unable to kill the Bristleback. And they go Phantom Lancer. So PL in the safe lane, Sand King in the off lane. We'll see if this Bristle is going to be safe lane or mid. I would assume Bristle goes safe lane here. OD is still available for both sides unless they do choose to ban it out with their 6-ban. Let's see. And a lot of time here for Ehome. Not as much for IG as they took their time earlier in the draft. But we'll see what they want to go with here to ban out is in terms of mids, Puck, OD. Then you've got TA. Kunkka is already banned here. Magnus banned as well. Should be dogfights on Grimstroke with Ollie on the Lich.
Invictus Gaming's turn.
And there's the OD ban. No surprise there. Can't really be giving up the OD. First pick for this 5th pick for both teams is for IG, so they would have had first crack at it. I'd like to see more lockdown here for IG. Puck wouldn't be awful. He can close the distance with Illusory Orb and Inkswell on him.
Invictus Gaming's turn to
ban the Sniper. So Sniper banned by the side of IG. We got PL, Sand King, Lich, and Grimstroke. With Soulbind and Chain Frost, really what you want.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Like the lockdown here from IG, but they need a little bit more. They'll go Searing Chains on the Ember, so that's more lockdown. That's mobility. He'll be going into the boots to travel. Ember mid, Phantom Lancer safe lane. With Sand King in the off lane, Lich in the 5, Grimstroke in the 4. And we'll see what this Lion Undying can do with the Bristle as well as the Beastmaster.
5 seconds remaining.
You're going to need a mid here, unless they go Bristle mid, but I don't know if that's really going to be the case. And there's the Monkey King. It could be. Their mid is ASD. So yeah, we'll be mid Monkey King, safe lane, Bristle, TM Ming on the Lion, Innocence on the 5 position, Undying with that gem that's so amazing to look at, and Faith Beyond on the off lane, Beastmaster. Got Emo on the Ember Spirit, Doodle on the Phantom Lancer, so mid safe lane, Blacks on the Sand King, off lane, Ollie in the 5 Lich, and dogfights on the Grimstroke. So, you've got Burrow strike here early with the Inkswell. With Frost Shield, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Tri-Lane come out. But we'll see if they have the maybe Doodle by himself or Blacks by himself. Tri-Lane wouldn't be awful to get the Frost Shield and the Inkswell on somebody. It's a deadly combination. You've got Ehome going into the safe lane, Bristle with mid Monkey King against Emo. But they've got a stun here with TMing with the Earth Spike. Would have liked to see them find something a little bit more other than Boundless Strike, as they've also got the Primal Roar.
That is too good.
Prepare
So
for
let's see
battle.
what the plan is. They do send 4 over bottom with Doodle. This is something I think can really work out for the side of IG. Especially if they could take an early advantage and, I mean, work with the Soulbind as well as the Chain Frost when those heroes hit level 6. Give Doodle an open lane. Get a couple of kills with the Frost Shield as well as the Inkswell. Definitely could be a pretty nice lane going the way of IG, as Black's here against Ego for right now, and moving over towards top will be Innocence, and this is something I talk about every time we see something like this, but he's actually got it on the tombstone. It's the autograph glitched item with Trail of the Burning Doom, and that's what's giving him that on fire trail, which is awesome on this Undying. So the combination over top with the Decay as well as the Quill Spray is going to be disgusting. We'll see if that turns into a Tri-Lane, as Tianming is here with Faith Beyond. The Earth Spike hits on 2. Frost Shield placed on to Doodle. We'll grab 3 bounty runes out of the 4. As Innocence picks up the last one. But going dual lanes here for Ehome. At least for right now, Tianming, he's sitting here with Faith Beyond, and it looks as though they'll send dogfights over towards top already. Black's forced out to south. So, we send the Inkswell over mid and get first blood. Ehome gets the kill on ASD. Earth Spike hits, so trade as Emo goes down. They'll split the gold, but Monkey King going down for the first blood. As coming over was dogfights to get the first blood with Emo with the Inkswell. Emo, he's got the Flame Guard on him, so I mean this is a really decent combination with the Inkswell. You don't want to dual lane mid too long, but we'll see how long they're willing to sit these 2 heroes here. Flame Guard once again. Need to be careful if you're TMing. You've already used your stun. And you've got level 2 here on Dogfight, so he now has the Stroke of Fate, which does give that slow. Keep 2 mid for the moment. Earth Spike comes out. Inkswell. But Jinga will be popped. There's the stun, taking a lot of damage, and now Stroke of Fate, but one shot with the Hex. Tianming moving in. Earth Spike missing. And Dogfight's able to survive. So they move the Undying over to help Faith Beyond as the dual lane mid continues. It's a 1v1 with the Bristle up against the Sand King. Sand King taking a lot of quills, taking quite a bit of damage. Tianming now has the Arcane Rune, but no mana to work with, really. He's got 1 Earth Spike in the tank. And Ollie gets the kill on the Y. So that was over in the jungle, I believe, after this lane was pulled. But Faith Beyond coming over with Innocence. continue to throw this decay on Doodle as he's got himself 8 lost strength. Dogfights. He's looking for an opportunity to go in on this. He won't find it just yet. Innocence and Faith Beyond just continuing to try and farm away as Doodle has creeps getting pulled once again here from Ollie. Innocence comes over. The Hawk is here with a little bit of vision. This is also stacked. They'll bring over the Grimstroke. The Frost Shield comes out. They should have the Stroke of Fate to get the slow as well as the Inkswell on top of this. And he's yet to use the Stroke of Fate. It finally comes through, and still not enough damage, but Frost Blast hits, and Doodle gets the kill. Faith Beyond trying to trade with a kill on a Dogfight, so he might be able to turn and throw a Stroke of Fate here back on a Faith Beyond. As he'll need to be on the run from Doodle, continuing to move on forward, but it's not an easy kill if they were to continue to jump onto Faith Beyond. And meanwhile, over top, Ego gets the kill on a Blacks.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So Doodle right now at 1-0-1. He's having a decent time. 1-1 is Emo as well as ASD over mid, or well, ASD is technically 0-1-1. Inkswell from Dogfights with double damage. This is gonna be a kill here on a TM Ming. One more shot needed, as the ward has the vision, and immediately TM Ming pings that out.
What's the opposite of regicide?
Faith Beyond and Innocence moving over. So look for Ollie with this again getting pulled on this stack is over mid. ASD gets the kill though, and Dogfight's coming through. A Stroke of Fate in 4, trying to catch up to this Monkey King for the moment, but he's able to Primal Spring away. Blacks moves over to the jungle while Ego continues to just drag this creep wave and will farm up as best he can. It's a 1,000 net worth lead so far for the side of IG. Doodle taking a little bit of damage over at bottom. Again, trying to work on this stack. Do a Frost Shield available. They'll look over mid once again. ASD sitting at level 5 to the Embers 5, but about a couple last hits behind, despite dying a second time. Primal Spring on a Dogfights. Looking for the Jingu. Inkswell, but Boundless Strike comes out, and now the Jingu will pop. Just chasing him down so slowly. Bristle goes down over towards top, but eventually Dogfight's able to survive still, and now the Stroke of Fate comes through. Emo with the Flame Guard. The Phantom back into the hands of Dogfights. ASD does not get the kill, but Blacks able to kill off the Bristleback in the top lane. So 5-3. Black's doing a very good job here over towards top. Ego comes back with the Quill Spray. As again, over bottom, Frost Shield comes through. Doodle moving forward. The Stroke of Fate from Dogfights. The Tombstone's going to be laid down. They look for the Beastmaster. They'll get the kill. Now over at Innocence, they'll take out the Tombstone and work with the Silence coming out. And ooh, the Silence will last long enough for Doodle to get the kill without losing Dogfights. 7-3 here for IG at a 3,000 net worth lead. And now the chase is on from ASD, but the rotation comes over from Ollie. He's got the Sinister Gaze on ASD. TM being taking a lot of damage. The Inkswell's on an Emo. That'll pop, but it's avoided by ASD. Not going to matter anyway. Using that Mischief to avoid the stun from Inkswell as Black's getting chased under the tower. Ego comes with the Quill Spray to get the kill. This is a bloodbath. 8-4, just 7 minutes in. Switch it over to the net worth. Frost Shield again. There's the Remnant forward. Mischief coming out once more from ASD to try and avoid everything that's being thrown from IG, but they've got the Sinister Gaze. As well as dogfights, the Phantom getting the silence. And Inkswell on top is just so much being thrown onto the Ember to make sure that his enemies can't get away. Bristle at 2-1, 50 last hits, going into the Vanguard first. Over mid, back to a solo lane, at least for now for Emo, as Innocence is here just trying to get some experience. ASD has died 3 times. We'll see if he moves over into the jungle or comes back to the lane. Doodle's having a pretty good game. 2-0-2. For right now, though, the Bristle leads the net worth. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains. Innocence throws down the Tombstone. Emo needs to be a little bit careful as the Primal Swing comes out, as well as Balance Strike. Earth Spike misses. Dogfights with the Inkswell on top of him. They'll get the kill on Innocence. The chase is on, but the silence was through on ASD, so they weren't able to get the kill on Innocence. Emo kills off the Undying. And it's 10-4 in favor of IG. Going back a little bit is Emo, but he's got the bottle and a regen rune. So 10-4, and taking a look at that item progression. Sand King also going for a Vanguard. Diffusal Blade first here for Doodle. Ember going into the Veil. And Tranquil's picked up on Grimstroke, as he's also got a bottle. He's only sitting level 4. ASD on the low ground for a moment. TMing, he's got himself boots. Faith Beyond going into the Necro Book. So back into that Vanguard. Stroke of Fate comes through, an ASD Primal Spring away. We get a little bit of lag. The Doppelganger onto the high ground.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
They start to converge over towards mid for IG. Scan comes out from the Radiant, but it won't spot anything, and Doodle, now with the Doppelganger, back onto the low ground. We take a look over at Ego. He might be in a little bit of trouble, but just illusions being made. Stroke of Fate, charged up, not thrown. Seems to happen around the 10-minute mark. We usually get it back about a minute later.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So I'll wait to reconnect, hopefully. I don't have
Radiant's
to.
bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack.
There's their Vanguard for Ego. Still 2,000 net worth lead for the moment.
Radiant's
Sand King continue to farm over top. Is it back?
top tower is under attack.
Feels like it's not back just yet. So we'll reconnect if we get a little bit of downtime. The Quill Spray comes out. They're moving over towards top. Blacks gets hit by the tower a couple of times. All right, let's take this moment to reconnect. T-Tours, I know. Oh no. Killing a TM Ming. Now they've got the Remnant away. Ego comes over. The Viscous Nasal Goo coming through onto Emo. They've got the Primal Roar. That's going to hit onto the Grimstroke. ASD trying to chase onto Ollie. He's got the Jingu procced already. The Chain Frost bouncing around with the Soulbind. That's going to be bouncing around twice. They'll look over at Innocence, who keeps himself alive with the Soulbind, but ends up falling to Doodle. Faith Beyond also goes down to Ollie. They're chasing onto Emo. Will get the kill on the Ember. Doodle makes his way over. It's a 3 for 2 so far. Viscous Nasal Goo one more time. TM Ming making the rotation over. He's got the stun as well as the Hex. With the rotation over from ASD with the Primal Spring coming through. Doodle low. Jingu proc. There's the Boundless. There's the kill for Ehome. So 4 heroes die here on the side of IG. As they get 3, though, taking out 2 supports in the offlaner. So 4 for 3 in the favor of Ehome, getting this game back to even. Black's continuing to farm here. He's going into the Vanguard. Actually, doesn't finish the Vanguard off just yet as the Burrow Strike comes through. Monkey King as well as Innocence trying to chase here on a Blacks. They've got the Primal Spring. That'll slow down Blacks, get the Jingu to proc as well as the Decay coming in. TMing dead over mid. But they won't be able to get the kill here onto the Sand King. This is looking like potential smoke coming out from IG. Seeing a Blink Dagger for the Sand King. But Ego for right now, he's got that Vanguard. Double damage actually bottled up with the Hood. Viscous Nasal Goo, Burrow Strike comes in. The Quill Spray doing a lot of damage here, and there's not really much spot for him to run. Looking for the finger, but TMing never getting it off and holds it. They find the Monkey King, and they've got the Sinister Gaze. Sleight of Fist comes through. Emo gets the kill on ASD. So a couple of pickoffs for both sides. And they get that kill worth a little bit of gold here for Ehome, and this should show back up and go the other way. Actually, more gold for Ehome overall on that kill on Sand King.
Radiant's top tower is falling. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Bottom tier 1 should be taken by Doodle.
Top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower.
And it will be the Blink Dagger here for the Sand King before finishing off this Vanguard. Emo, meanwhile, he's going into the Maelstrom after the Veil. Doodle, he's finished off the Diffusal Blade going into the Manta style. And now Blacks has to run away as there's 4 heroes here for the side of Ehome. With just the Monkey King over bottom as they steal this stack.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Got the Dust. They've got the Hex. They look over at Blacks, who's stunned up with the Earth Spike. There's the Finger, blowing him up. It's the Finger that he helped previously, as the Quill Spray was what did the damage the first time. But this time with the Finger, they'll clean up the Sand King once more and pushed further away from that Blink Dagger once again. They go after the tier 1 over mid, a couple of boars as well as the Necro 2 hitting away at the tier 1 tower with the help of Ego. Not really something that the side of IG can really contest as they're looking for farm here for the Phantom Lands. They're going into the Manta style, and Maelstrom here for Emo. They'll try to work with the Chain Frost as well as the Soulbind again if they find a fight, but for right now, Ehome continuing to farm and finding themselves getting tankier and tankier, harder for IG to kill.
The flames rush forth.
So Hex comes through. There's the Primal Spring right on down. A Respect to follow it up. Jingu's been proc. Balance Strike. One more shot. Dogfights is wiped off the face of this planet.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So Blink Dagger finally picked up here for the Sand King. They'll take out the vision from Ehome. Faith Beyond now has that Necro 3. Monkey King. He's got the Phase Boots ready. As well as 4 Wraith Bands. But here comes the smoke from IG. They've got Emo leading the way. They'll look over towards top. It's the TP already out from ASD. As they're the ones over towards mid. And let's see if they search or go for Roche. Looks like they're heading towards this pit. That's exactly what they're going to do. They'll go into Roche. They take this Aegis, yeah. Ehome get it. They get themselves a little bit of a lead. They get the Aegis here onto the Monkey King. The smoke was attempted from IG. Doesn't accomplish them anything. They move over towards top with all 5 heroes up here. Doodle trying to farm into the Manta style. You've got Ember going in with the Maelstrom. And now coming over is going to be the side of Ehome. They look over to find this Sand King, and now the Primal Roar will surely lock up this kill. They'll get the kill onto this hunt to Blacks, and IG, they just have to flee the scene. There's nothing they can do. Ehome getting themselves the Aegis, finding themselves in a very good spot right now. Top of the net worth is this Bristle back. And then you follow that up with what Faith Beyond has. Oh, Balance Strike, Jingu procced. One more shot coming in from Ollie. Another kill here for ASD. He finds himself 4-4-4 after the slower start over mid, starting 1-3-1. As we're seeing, ASD has just been able to infiltrate the side of the map for the Radiant. They've got some deep wards, good vision here for Ehome. And the pressure just comes out. Faithion with multiple boars with the Necro 3. They'll find the Hex as well as the Earth Spike with the finger. Black Skin dead again. He's 1 in 6. He's just not allowed to farm. Innocence comes over. They'll take the mid tier 2. ASD gets that tower. Now they'll look over towards top because the pressure is coming out from Ego as Quill Spray eats into these creeps. Two out of the 3 outer towers are already gone.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's not even that big of a lead. It just IG have not found the right moment to go in and fight against Ehome. And that's become a bit of a problem. Sand King's 1 in 6. He goes into the Blink Dagger, now looking to finish off the Vanguard. He's actually got the Ring of Health in his backpack. Not sure how efficient that is. And Ego going into the Radiance after finishing off the Lotus Orb. Has Hood, Vanguard, Lotus Orb already. And Ember just dead over bottom. So all these cores on the side of Ehome are doing a relatively good job. ASD having the slow start going into the Echo Saber, not as much net worth as maybe he would have liked, but he is doing a really good job of being effective here with the Primal Spring, getting in, pushing these lanes out, getting some kills. He's 5-4-5. Again, you got to think about the start he had at 1-4-1. So he's gone 4-0-4 since that early game. Hex comes out, Inkswell will not pop on top of anybody. Judo comes over the Soulbind with the Chain Frost. Should be a couple of kills and will be for Ollie. It's a quick cleanup. Primal Spring comes in with a Balance Strike. Burrow Strike hits from Blacks. Now they've got the Phantom to silence up the Monkey King. He's in a little bit of trouble. Coming over is going to be this Ember. They get the first kill. Ego trying to get the kill onto this Grimstroke as he'll clean him up. Faith Beyond, Primal Roar. That comes through into the Ember Spirit. Burrow Strike lands on a Faith Beyond. Emo trying to turn around, but he'll remnant away. Still continuing to chase will be the Bristleback. Wukong's command comes out with a Balance Strike hitting on an Emo. Nobody inside the circle. It's not going to matter. The Burrow Strike away from Blacks to escape. So a 2 for 3 with a buyback coming out from Innocence. Ends up being double boots here for the Monkey King. I saw that he had it queued. I didn't want to sound stupid when I was like, is he going for another set of boots? But he went double boots. So not only is he taking the Agi here from the Wraith Bands, but he replaces one of the Wraith Bands with Power Trades and has the slot open for the Echo Saber. So relatively cheap Agi. And a shoe for each foot, but who wears 2 separate pairs of shoes on their feet? So Smoke again not showing anything. Chain Frost ready with the Soulbind. They've got the scan. That comes out on a Faith Beyond. Blink. And Burrow Strike with the Frost Shield. Now they'll look for the kill. The Inkswell as well as the Sinister Gaze comes out. They'll Soulbind on top of it to get the kill here on the Faith Beyond. Good pickoff is over top. ASD comes in. Finger blown onto this Ember Spirit. Emo dies to ASD. And is it really worth it for a mid? Position 2 for position 3. Position 3 has already got Vlad's. Has the Necro Book. Level 3. He's going into the BKB, but what you're looking for here, at least on the Ember, is much more important than that BKB.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And even with the poor start here from the Sand King, and Ember not really finding much space as he's died 6 times as well, the game is relatively close. Black's trying to run away. Wukong's has dropped as well as the Tombstone. Now he's hexed up. Have the Earth Spike in a moment. There it is. So they've got the stun. Jingu will proc again. Burrow Strike lands on both of them. And Black's still on the run. There's the Hex. There's the Soul Rip with the Primal Spring. ASD eventually gets the kill. Dogfight's just TPing out here. Doodle continuing to farm. He's got the man to style with the Diffusal Blade, so sitting second on the net worth behind this Bristleback. He was still looking for the Radiance, going for the Sacred Relic first, of course. 500 gold away from that. Doodle now going for the Heart. Phantom Lancer could be the saving grace here. He'll be going Silver. We'll see what he goes for first. If it's going to be the Heart or the Silver Edge.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Maybe would like to see the Silver Edge, but if Doodle's getting enough space, maybe he thinks he can go for the Heart. We'll see, though. They're setting up here, you know, like they already smoked.
Dire are scanning.
And Faith Beyond nearby. Blink Burrow Strike. That's going to land on a Faith Beyond. The immediately TP rotations coming in from Ehome. They've got the Soulbind ready. The Earth Spike hits on a couple of these heroes. They've got the Primal Roar that's going to try and set up a little bit more. The finger comes out. They'll get the kill on Ollie. Dogfight's dead as well. Faith Beyond. He's going to die. Buyback from this Lich. And now the Remnant away. They look over at Blacks to get another kill. 3 heroes down on the side of IG with the buyback coming in from Ollie. But they just did not have that team fight there once the rotations came out. They went in for Faith Beyond. They got that kill. They end up losing 3. Buyback here from the Lich. Doodle again just trying to work on his next item. Saving up a lot of gold. Does technically have enough for the Reaver, and saving up, we'll see what he ends up going for. 3,400 gold. Possibly looking for the Silver Edge. Shane Frost comes out. That's going to bounce around. Ember trying to get out of here. It just escapes. Remnants away. Lich will give his life for Ior. And Ollie being a sacrificial lamb at the moment to keep Emo alive. Woo! That was really close, and he's going into the Lincolns, but he's still pretty far away from this ulti orb.
Radiant are scanning.
So Radiant throw a scam, but it's Ehome doing the Roche again. Or inside the Roche pit once again. As they've got Radiance ready here on the Bristleback. He just picked up one more time for ASD, who's now going into the Mjolnir. He's got the Maelstrom here with the Echo Saber. So he's really made up on his farm. He's caught up to where the Ember is. Doodle's doing a good job, but is it going to be enough to beat out this Bristleback? Ends up buying himself the Ring of Tarask. We'll see if that ends up meaning he's going to go for the Heart in full, or if he's going to go for the Silver Edge, might just want the Heart of Trask for the little bit of regen that it does give. But that could just mean he's going for the Heart. BKB. Just about finished here for Faith Beyond. Moving over, looking over at Emo, with Lion not too far behind him. A couple of heroes are here for the side of IG. And here comes Faith Beyond with Tian Ming. They actually back off as they go with the Primal Roar as well as the finger on a dogfight. They'll get the kill. Now they find Doodle. The Air Spike hits. The Burrow Strike comes in. That's going to land onto the Monkey King, who's in a little bit of trouble with the Remnant coming in from Emo. They get the kill on a Tian Ming. They look over at ASD. They'll pop the Aegis. Backing off will be Blacks. Coming around will be Ego on the Bristle. And now they've got themselves the Monkey King back up, but doing a lot of damage here. Zemo dogfights as well as Ollie. They clean up the Monkey King for the second time. Ego comes around. One hero dead on the side of IG. But they'll take out a second in Ollie. I believe the Grimstroke did buy back. This dogfight's on the run. Trying to get away. The Ink Swell doesn't stun up Ego. And with the Quill Spray and the damage coming in, Ego will get the kill. He looks over at Emo now. Remnant onto the high ground. Lincoln's will be popped. And he's able to TP out. So they get the supports and the offlane with Grimstroke twice. It's a good chunk of gold going the way of Ehome. Now up 7,000 net worth and pushing down mid.
Dire's left tower is under attack.
So it's a heart and full here for the Phantom Lancer. No Silver Edge, and time might be running out on whether or not he's going to be able to get the Silver Edge. Now the Searing Chains, Lotus Orb comes through. Emo trying to do enough damage here with Doodle. He's got no more mana on Ego. So at least there's that. As Earth Spike comes in, but Doodle continues to do some work here on Innocence. They've got the Burrow Strike. That hits on Ego. And hexed up for right now is Doodle with the Tombstone drop down. They've got the Primal Roar. That's going to be here with the Chain Frost. There's the stun on a Doodle. Ollie goes down. Balance Strike over towards the top end of this fight as they look for Emo with the Jingle Mastery being procced. TMing goes in with Ego. They've got the Hex. There's the Finger. 4 heroes gone. And Blacks is the last one alive here for the side of IG with the respawn of Grimstroke. Just as it's a full team wipe for Ehome.
Radiant's middle tower is under
So
attack.
from a 7,000 to a 9,000 net worth lead to pressure back on the tier 3 over mid. They get the tower, they look after the melee racks, and just Grimstroke is here to defend.
Barracks are under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
Primal String, Balance Strike, lands on both supports. They've also got the Air Spike to follow that up. They'll look for the kill on a dogfight. So they'll get themselves one. They look over at Ollie, but Ego gets one.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack. Radiant's middle barracks has fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
Mid racks, bottom racks. Both taken out, and now Burrow Strike comes out. We'll see if there's anything that they can do to follow this up. Chain Frost coming in. The Lotus Orb is going to be there. They'll get the kill on ASD. Now they look over at Eagle with the Epicenter drop down by Blacks. They'll kill off both cores here with no buyback for either of them. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains. That's going to be the Hex coming through onto the Ember Spirit. He's got a couple of stacks of Quill Spray on him. Innocence goes down to the top end of this fight. They look over at Tian Ming. Their Earth Spike. Sleight of Fist. Emo and Doodle combining the last 2 kills. They do have buyback back on ASD. Let's see if they're even able to push. So Doodle here with Blacks. There they go to try and push the tier 2 tower. ASD no longer has buyback. The Burrow Strike comes out onto the Necro Creeps. Let's see. Unable to get this tower. Unable to get any objectives with that. But they do technically hold. I mean, 2 set racks down is not what I'd call a clean hold, but it is, quote, a hold. dogfights at level 16. He's going into the Heaven's Halberd. Got Emo into the Boots of Travel with the Lincoln Sphere. Maelstrom, Doodle. Going for the Silver Edge if they can win a fight as decisively as they did last time. The BKB's going to be popped with the Wukong's command coming out. Emo needs to get out of there. Soulbind plays down Faith Beyond. He'll also pop his BKB. Black's in a lot of trouble. He'll use the Yules. Coming around the back will be Doodle, who's hexed up in a lot of trouble. Manta Style comes out low on mana, trying to run. As they got the kill into the Sand King. He doesn't have buyback. Doppelganger onto the high ground. And now he's rooted up by the Ancients. That's a huge problem. He's trying to get out of here with a Phantom Rush. Searing Chains, rooting 2. Doppelganger once again. Balance Strike hits. ASD will get to proc the Jingu. Finally does. And now they've got the Hex. They should be able to get the kill. And he does have buyback. That's going to push back this Silver Edge. 30 seconds until they have the Sand King as well, so this is all they've got right now without the SK. Fist, Searing Chains. They look after Ego. The Lotus Orb is going to be popped. Doodle. 4 stacks of Quill Spray as well as 4 lost strength. Innocence using the Glimmer Cave and they back off once again, but they hold the tier 3 for the moment.
Radiant's top shrine is under attack. Radiant's top shrine has fallen.
Time on Roche. Immediate. So Roche is back up.
Money changes
Doodle really needs to farm up quite a bit. Needing this Silver Edge, but Faith Beyond taking the top tier 3, so after all that, he ends up taking the top tier 3. Stroke of Fate comes through. Ego nearby, and there is the Doppelganger looking over at Ego for just a moment. Now onto the high ground as they get the kill on an Innocence. ASD, he'll Primal Spring away. Tombstone laid down for a little extra gold here for the side of IG, down 15,000 net worth. But you have to remember that Faith Beyond is still just in your base. He hasn't actually left yet. BKB is going to be popped. The Wukong's command comes out. They look for this Ember Spirit. They'll get the kill. And now, Burrow Strike, Primal Roar, Soulbind. That's going to come out onto both of them. Lotus Orb, though. The Chain Frost bouncing around on the side of IG. They may have gotten 2 Chain Frosts off on their end, but that's a little bit of a problem pushing back the side of IG. They'll get the kill into the line. They've also killed off this Undying a little bit earlier. Ego running low on mana. Lotus Orb popped once again. Faith Beyond throwing the axes, trying to get them away. Doodle backs off for a moment. As they kill Ollie, and oh boy, IG.
Are under attack.
And buyback on the Ember, they take out 2 supports. So still 16,000 net worth lead here for Ehome, looking for the hexes. Grimstroke has just got the Heaven's Halberd. Buyback comes in from Ollie. They look over towards Roche. This is the Aegis She's Refresher Shard, which they could desperately use here for IG. Hawk comes in, immediately Burrow Struck. Emo going into the Shivas. Phantom Lancer has the Shadow Blade, but he just does not have the Silver Edge. That is such a game-turning item if they're able to take fights where Ego no longer has that passive. I'd like to see how much it would really turn everything around. No smoke. IG just coming over. The board will try to get to the high ground before they make their way in. He's spotted by the illusions. The stroke of fate comes out. Ego moving over for just a moment. And Faith Beyond BKB just able to escape. And now back inside the pit, they use the Wukong's command. Let's see if they even attempt this. It's going to be Aegis into the hands of ASD. So now really what are you able to do? Grabs the Aegis, grabs the cheese and refresh shard, everything for the Monkey King. Trying his darnest to get himself this Silver Edge. Cues up the butterfly as well. Ends up giving the cheese here to the Lion, who's got 7 Finger of Death kills. So, an extra 350 on this finger damage. Oh boy, Ollie. Immediately taking that sentry away. Here they go, into the base. BKB's going to be popped as well as a refresher shard. They've got themselves the Wukong's command. That's going to back them off the set of racks. BKB will run out in a moment. But he will have it again. Epicenter's going to be charged up. There's the Burrow Strike in with a Soul Bind. This could be the fight that they're looking for. They've got the Chain Force. That's going to come in. They'll get themselves the kill. It's going to be the first fight gone for the Monkey King. Now they'll look for the damage on the Ego, but a lot of damage comes through onto the Sand King. He's already dead. BKB popped once again by ASD. They go into the backlines. They'll look for the Undying. The Balance Strike comes through, but it's not enough just yet. Hit the buyback from the Sand King. Black's finally back into the fight, but Emo, he just used his buyback. He's dead. He's gone. Doesn't have buyback for another 4 minutes. The Primal Roar, that comes through on a Doodle. He's trying to make something happen. The Burrow Strike is going to be a huge whiff. Inkswell on top of him, taking a lot of damage. He's hexed up. There's the Primal Spring as well as the Balance Strike coming through. The silence is not in time as Ollie already dead. They'll back off this Sand King, and now they'll lose themselves. The last set of racks is going to be Mega Creeps here for the side of Ehome, and GG is going to be called by IG. So Ehome, control of this game. And never getting that Silver Edge is the Phantom Lancer. Game 1 goes to Ehome, and 1 game away from getting themselves a chance at revenge in the finals tomorrow against Vici. So 27-39, Ehome are the victors. 37,000 hero damage for Ego, 32,000 hero damage for ASD. It's actually Emo does 30,000 for his team. You take a look at the net worth, 26,000 for Ego in front of everybody on the side of IG. ASD, he surpassed everybody as well, despite the slow start of the 1-4-1, which afterwards he ended up going 13-2-14. So ends up executing, and Ehome end up executing. They get themselves the win into game 1. It was a little bit of a lead for IG for a moment, but then come the 22-minute mark, it kind of splat down into Ehome's favor. And they take game 1. They're looking to take the series in 2. We'll be back in just a moment. I'm your caster, BCop, at BCop92 on Twitter. Follow me on Twitch and Twitter to know when I'm casting. I literally cast every day. And I'll be back in just a moment with the next game. See you then.